Team needs a bag. So what we do? Walk in the club. You had like 9 of your homies. It was like 30 of us. The security moved to the side. I said, Meek, you know what's this about? You started taking it off and handing it to me. You was polite about it, Sugar Plum. You was polite. Sugar Plum, you was polite. I hear Rose. Hey, look. I got this. You got this artist you pumping. You don't want this to get out. We need 50. He brought 52, Crenshaw, and 48. He brought that money. He brought it fast. And when he brought it, I hit Big Useless and said, we on our way. Gave Meek Mill his stuff back.
Y'all believe Luce Cannon? It's in the paperwork.
All right, so it looks like we got Meek Mill going off on Luce Cannon after this story of Luce Cannon extorting Rick Ross for $50,000 has started gaining some traction online. The story basically was that Luce Cannon was working for Big U. Big U was wanting to extort Rick Ross when he was in LA. Rick Ross brought his artist to LA with him, Meek Mill. Luce Cannon went and robbed Meek Mill and extorted this money from Rick Ross. Not only did we see Luce Cannon admitting to that in the clip at the beginning of this video, but we also seen this mentioned in the complaint against Big U, the indictment. Right in there, it tells the story of Williams, who is Luce Cannon, committing this crime. Now, in the indictment, they actually didn't use the clip from the beginning of this video. They used a clip from the No Jumper podcast where Luce Cannon was up there with WAC 100. Right, this was another time when Luce Cannon told this story. I think this was actually the first time that he told this story, and that's what they make mention of in the indictment. That interview was removed from the No Jumper platform after Big U sent a cease and desist to them. Right, but despite that, the clip still exists online because it's the internet. Nothing ever leaves the internet once it's on here. And so they used this story that he told on No Jumper as proof of a crime being committed in that criminal complaint.
Of course.
And kept you out of it.
Of course. He did that to, when I did that to Meek Mills and Rick Ross.
What'd you do to them?
So,
the club, when you sweated them in the club?
Yeah.
Dude, and Meek and Rick have no idea that Draw sent you at him.
Yeah. No, they sent that because I called Ross. I'm like, Ross,
boy, this shit getting crazy.
Drop off the 50,000 and we're going to let Meek live on Crib. So Ross dropped off the 50,000. And so me and the homies, we go back. He stopped answering the phone. He stopped picking up and shit like that. And we were like, what you doing? Like 2 days later, he called me. He was like, oh, nephew, where you at? I'm like, nigga, where my money at? And he was like, oh, I needed it for Big.
Right, so that was like the first time that he told this story. That was on No Jumper. That's the part that was in the indictment, right? And Luce Cannon swears that this is a real story. This is a true story, that this really happened. Because like I said, he's told this story on numerous occasions. He added more details to it when he went on Academics podcast and talked about it. And I promise we're going to get into Meek Mill responding to him. But y'all listen, because Luce swears to God that this story actually happened. And it was noted in the indictment against Big U. It's part of the reason why Luce was arrested in the first place.
So Meek is in the club, like he's up there like, yo, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished and y'all just tapped him on the shoulder. I just want to know.
He's academic diabolical.
To that part. He walked in.
Diabolical.
Can't even get to the intro. God damn it.
He walked in. As soon as he walked in or whatever, all the security that was with him, they spent around and grabbed Cubs. Like, bro. Get on the phone with Ross.
Honey, all right, that's enough now. We're not going to tell all the details.
No, we got to hear this one.
I said, get on the phone with Ross.
This one going to go viral. What?
Get on the phone with Ross. Neighborhood Crip. So he got on the phone with Ross. I took on the phone with Ross.
So he just started like squaring up, trying to swing it like that?
Too much.
And what?
You grabbed him by the shoulder like you put your hands on a grown man. He from the trenches.
Like this.
They from the trenches.
Yeah, I know. A nigga from the trenches. Nah, it don't work like that.
So he called Rick Ross. Yeah. Right in the club.
Yeah. And then bro,
imagine if his cell reception was bad. Fuck.
The crazy part about it is
This is insane.
So imagine Ross ain't pick up. Like, all right, so he called Ross. Why'd you have him call Ross? This is crazy.
Because we needed that bag, or because
But he owed y'all money.
No, he didn't owe no money. We took the money.
Oh, this was extortion. Oh shit!
It's not extortion.
Ken, all right.
See, yeah, we don't want.
See, I might have to probably bail him out after this.
We don't want to.
No. We just say Meek Mill
said bail him.
Look, we don't want to get the extortion
he
part.
said Meek ain't
It's just
gonna
a
talk.
business transaction.
How much I charge him?
50.
Why you gonna say you must
50,000? Nah, we squabbling in there. What? Wait, how many of y'all was it? Was just you?
No, it was probably about like
50,000 for the
50 of y'all? 1,000 per person, nigga. All right, cool. Yeah, might get that 50. Then he was hot as hell, right? Wait. So who? I'm pretty sure Ross has an answer to this. Meek neither. They're probably saying this nigga lying. We ain't send this nigga no money. How did y'all receive the cash?
Cash.
They gave you cash money.
Yeah. No, they ain't gonna say nobody lying. That's why Meek and Nipsey became cool after that situation, because they started using the same PR. So Meek got smart and started hitting Nipsey up, and that's why the Big U feud kept going with Nipsey.
Oh, so that's
that
kind
why
of like,
Nipsey
yo, if
got
I'm
back
cool
door?
with Nipsey,
Allegedly.
now the homies from Road 60s ain't gonna keep tapping me on the shoulder and asking for the bag, because now I'm contacted.
Listen,
Yeah.
tap in.
All right, so he gave some more details right there in that interview, including saying that this is the reason why Nipsey and Big U continued to beef. Nipsey and Big U were beefing because I guess Big U was trying to extort Nipsey to a degree. Black Sam stepped in and was like, nah, they got into a little back and forth at one point in time. Luce Cannon is in this interview saying the reason why it continued to go was because Meek Mill was trying to tap in with Nipsey instead of with Big U. I don't know how solid that claim is, but as y'all can see, he's been standing on that claim for quite some time. Well, yesterday, this article right here was posted with the title that says Meek Mill was allegedly held hostage by LA Crips and asked Rick Ross to pay $50,000.
I know that's gonna be.
I
I bet academics laughing right
this
now.
article going viral, and he responded to it with this tweet right here. In the tweet, he says, "This guy must be using this story to confuse his indictment because I never seen him before. I would have put him to God's test on the spot. I never even met Buddy, but I don't negotiate with fake thugs. Ask him what chain he took because all my chains some LOL. My watches all $300,000 and up vibes." So basically, Meek Mill is like, look, I don't know what this dude is talking about, bro. That ain't never happened to me. He continued. He sent this tweet out in response to somebody that said, I ain't gonna lie, I never heard this story before last week. I did be tuned in to sounding crazy because he said he had bodyguards and they turned around and he snatched him up in the club, so they ain't turned back around. And Meek responded to that. He said, it's a real world LA dudes that respect the shit out of how I carry myself in an open arms. Where you at to build my people up? I don't care where you from. That's why you seen me around Nipsey and others. We are men of respect and honor. Boy, I swear, sometimes trying to read Meek Mill tweets, man, my God needs a college class. Anyways, he continued. He said, me, Nipsey, YG, Mustard, and a few others made sure we didn't follow the East Coast, West Coast narrative. I changed my life by blessings, but I always been down to meet up with fake street bullies in abandoned areas where it's no civilians so I can take their heart. So we got Meek Mill adamantly denying any claims that Luce Cannon has made about taking his chain or doing anything to him. You know, we haven't heard Rick Ross speak about this yet. I don't know if he will. Lord help him if 50 Cent gets a hold of this information. But yeah, man, that's what we got. Meek Mill going off on Luce Cannon for this story that he's told numerous times throughout the years. Pretty crazy stuff, man. Y'all gotta let me know what y'all think about this whole situation.